Our last inductee is of particular significance for all of us on the board of directors. Nestor Shydlowsky was an original founder of the Ukrainian Musicians Association. Nestor's vision was to preserve, honor, and promote Ukrainian musicians and their music. A true Ukrainian music pioneer, songwriter, and musician, Nestor forged a path for the Ukrainian Canadian musicians and became an icon of the Western Canadian music scene. We are here today celebrating the achievement of Ukrainian musicians because of Nestor, and for that, we are truly grateful. Yep. Yes. Go ahead, Jocelyn. Thank you.
The Ukrainian Musicians Association is proud to induct Nestor Shydlowsky into the Ukrainian Musicians Hall of Fame. Nestor was born November 14, 1946, and grew up on the family farm in Tolstoy, Manitoba. One could tell from a very early age that singing and playing Ukrainian music was his passion. So he learned to play the accordion and sing traditional Ukrainian songs. In 1966, at age 21, he formed his first band called the Royal Polka Kings, who played in Manitoba and Saskatchewan and recorded 6 albums. It was during this time that he met Linda Salamandic, a musician in her own right, and they did indeed make beautiful music together. They were married in 1972. In 1974, Nestor and Linda established their own recording studio and their own recording label, Sunshine Records and Bobo's Records. Various artists from many genres recorded their music at the studio during the 45 years that they were in operation. In the late 1970s, Nestor formed a new group called Family Love. It was in 1990 that Ness and Linda formed a 5-piece band called the Ukrainian Old Timers. That is where they would make their mark and solidify their legacy in the Ukrainian music field. It was Nestor's vision, along with his outstanding creative abilities, that identified and branded the band. The choreography and the costumes on stage, along with their unique interpretations of song and composition, made them a one-of-a-kind group in the Ukrainian music field. A band highlight occurred when they toured Ukraine in 1999 and performed their Canadian prairie-style kind of song and music in their homeland. Back in Canada, one of the band's specialty performances was to perform a stage production of a traditional Ukrainian wedding from start to finish. Nestor wrote most of it, produced it, and directed it. The crowds absolutely loved it. The Ukrainian Old Timers Band went on to record 35 albums. Let me repeat that, 35 albums. 10 years ago, radio station CKJS 810 AM in Winnipeg asked Ness to produce and host their popular weekly Ukrainian Zabava program. The program has a dedicated listening audience and a loyal following around the world. It was a natural for Ness, and he did a wonderful job. We are still listening to him today on their program every Saturday. Nestor was the co-founder of the Ukrainian Musicians Association, also known as UMA, which was founded in 2002. Their mission was to preserve, honor, and promote Ukrainian artists and their music. Since that time, UMA has organized many fundraising events, such as the Gala Evening Zemove festivals, and many Zabava parties and musical jamborees. Most significantly, and through Ness's leadership, UMA has created and established a Ukrainian Musicians Hall of Fame right here. located at Sala Ukraina in the Ukrainian Festival grounds near Dauphin, Manitoba. The Hall of Fame has honored many musicians that have made their own contribution to the Ukrainian music scene in Western Canada. Nestor Shydlowsky was an absolute giant and an icon in the Western Canadian music scene. He really made it happen. Nestor Shydlowsky, a true Ukrainian pioneer and visionary songwriter and musician. He was definitely a legend in his time. Nestor Shydlowsky, Vichnaya Pamyat.
And I'd like Nestor's family to join me at the front.
He did it, I can do it. Get on the mic up there, so you can speak right into it, nice and close. We're right behind you.
Thank you all for coming.
Really close.
Ness was a person who loved Ukrainian music. From the first day I met him, my brother put an ad in the paper for an accordion player. And, you know, he walked in and I said, oh, his accordion player isn't the best, but I'm going to marry that guy. It was automatic. And he said he felt the same way. So my family for years would say, Mom and Dad were tired of Linda, so they had to put an ad in the paper to get rid of her. Oh, wow. He was my rock. He was my mentor, my best friend. We had 48 wonderful years together. And you know, we had our business together, we played on weekends, and we slept together. The guys in the band would say, how in the hell do you guys do it? And we said, very carefully. You can make it work if you want it to make it work. When he passed away, it was very sudden. It was a matter of less than 48 hours. The first year was shock. The second year was realization, acceptance, and I know life has to go on. But last year, a young gentleman by the name of Brandon Hashkowski was here. I could not attend. It was just too fresh. We could not induct Nestor last year and Adam. And all they said is, this young guy, boy, can he play accordion? I'm going, oh man, I know him. So I am honored today. Where's Brandon? There he is. He bought Nestor's accordion. I am so proud of Brandon doing that because I know it's in good hands. And Brandon told me since 12 years old, Nestor was his mentor. And I thank you for being the new ownership. And I notice your movements, your style. You got Ness's spirit. Thank you. It was very nice. You know, I think we take things for granted. What is life? You know, it's so many fans were here today. I had a very emotional morning meeting everyone we used to see at the community. I've been getting emails, you know, giving their condolences yet and so forth. But you know, through the music industry, through the musical family, we touched many, many hearts. And I don't think Nestor really knew how many thousands of people he touched through his songs, his music. And you know, I'm going to leave you with one word. And this comes from my daughter, Alicia, her husband, Chris, our two granddaughters, Haley and Kenzie, and my son, Christopher. Unfortunately, they could not come because of other family circumstances. They give all their love to you. They're very, very proud of what Nestor has done for them, being a father, entertainer, and I know all the people's lives that we've touched. All the fans, I thank you, purchasing the CDs and just being there for us. And there's one thing I want to leave you with. Always tell someone every day, I love you. Because you know what? That day, that morning, when he was rushed to the hospital, he was supposed to come back home. Because it was COVID, and that's not why he passed away. They would not let me into the hospital. And as he was progressing worse, I was so angry at the hospital at Selkirk. And I said, he has a cell phone there. Get that cell phone to him. He was so weak and so sick. And he said, Lynn, I will love you forever. And I had a chance to tell him that. And that's the last time I spoke to him. So people, cherish each other, cherish your partners, cherish your family, grandkids, friends. Don't say, I'll see you next week. You know what? That may never happen, and you're going to be so regretful. I love you all. I thank the committee. They've been absolutely wonderful since Nessa's death. Even just to talk to, Brandon, thank you. And I love you all.
Stand over here so Nestor, One more hand for Linda and honoring Ness.
At this time, we call on Brandon Hutchkowski to play a few short tunes of Ness's on behalf of Ness.